In the frigid heart of Siberia, where the icy winds whispered secrets of sorrow and longing, we find Nina Ovechina. 40 years had etched deep furrows into her face, lines that bore witness to a life lived in the cold, unforgiving embrace of the Soviet regime. Her eyes were dark pools of despair, mirroring the endless night that enveloped her tiny home. Nina was a mother, a wife, and a woman yearning for something more. The once vibrant spirit that danced in her had been slowly suffocated by the relentless weight of her circumstances. Yet, within her, a flame still burned bright, a beacon of hope amidst the darkness, fueled by her unwavering desire to protect her family from a life devoid of opportunity and freedom. In the same frigid abode, we find Victor, a man etched with lines of resilience and conviction. His gaze was fixed on the horizon, as if he could see the brighter future that lay beyond the Iron Curtain. Elena, a woman of quiet strength, stood by his side. Her love for Nina and their children was as unyielding as the Siberian permafrost, driving her to support Victor's plan, even when she questioned its morality. Their children, Alexei, Maria, and Ivan, were like tiny echoes of a world they had never known. Alexei, a curious and adventurous spirit, was blissfully unaware of the gravity of their situation. Maria, aged 14, bore the weight of adulthood upon her shoulders, caring for her siblings as their mother fell ill with an incurable disease. Ivan, a brooding teenager, was torn between loyalty to his family and fear of the unknown. In this frozen tableau, we witnessed the daily struggle of the Ovechkin family, a struggle to survive, to dream, and to defy the oppressive forces that sought to crush their spirits. The cold, harsh reality of Siberia served as a constant reminder of the life they longed to escape, but the fire within them burned brighter with each passing day. And so, they waited, yearning for freedom and a better life, the flames of hope growing ever stronger in the face of their icy prison. In the shadowy recesses of their cramped apartment, the Ovechkin family huddled together, their breaths visible in the frost-laden air. A sense of urgency hung heavy over them like a looming storm cloud, their eyes darting between each other with a mix of hope and fear. The desolate cold seeped through the worn wooden floors, a stark reminder of the oppressive grip the Soviet regime held on their lives. The air crackled with tension as they whispered hushed words, their voices barely audible over the echoes of their unspoken doubts. The father, Victor, spoke first, his voice trembling with determination that betrayed a hint of desperation. He outlined a plan, daring and seemingly impossible, to hijack a Tu-154-passenger plane bound for London. Elena's eyes welled with tears as she grappled with the moral implications of their actions. She knew the consequences, not just for them, but for countless others who would be affected by their choices. Yet, her love for Nina and her children burned fiercely within her, driving her to support Victor's plan, even when she questioned its righteousness. The children watched their parents with wide eyes, sensing the gravity of the situation but unable to fully comprehend the stakes. The eldest son, Ivan, felt a tug between loyalty and fear, his heart heavy with the weight of uncertainty. Maria, the 14-year-old girl, bore the burden of adulthood on her shoulders as she looked towards the future, her eyes reflecting a mixture of courage and despair. As they continued to discuss the logistics and potential pitfalls, their words echoed off the cold walls, creating an atmosphere charged with anticipation and dread. The air thickened with the weight of their decisions, each whisper carrying the promise of freedom or the threat of disaster. The clock ticked on, its relentless march a stark reminder of the dwindling time they had to make a choice, one that would change their lives forever. The camera, unseen and unheard, bore witness to their heated debate, capturing the flickering glow of their faces as they wrestled with their emotions. In this moment, the frigid expanse of Siberia seemed a world away, replaced by the icy grip of doubt and the allure of freedom that danced just beyond their reach. The stage was set for a daring escape, one that would test the limits of their resolve and force them to confront the true cost of defying the system. As the first light of dawn crept across the Siberian horizon, an unassuming passenger plane, a Tu-154 bound for London, stood silent on the tarmac. The Ovechkin family clung together, hearts pounding, as they inched their way towards the aircraft. A sense of unease hung heavy in the air, mingling with the bitterness of the winter morning. The plane's cabin was a study in contrasts. The tense faces of hijackers huddled around the pilots, their eyes darting between each other and the passengers who stared back with a mixture of fear and hope. The crew, steadfast in their resolve, worked to de-escalate the situation. Negotiations unfolded with a careful dance of words and gestures, a delicate ballet of threats and promises. The hijackers' grip on the control panel tightened as they grappled with the weight of their decision, while the crew sought to reason with them, appealing to their humanity. Yet, amidst the tension, glimmers of hope began to emerge. The mother's tear-streaked face, her eyes locked onto her children. The father's resolute stance, his gaze steady and unwavering. The daughter's determined jawline, set like stone. The passengers, once strangers bound by circumstance, found solace in each other as they clung to the possibility of freedom. As the sun continued its ascent, so too did the plane, lifting off from the icy runway and heading towards the military airfield in Vechevo. The landscape below faded into insignificance, replaced by a cacophony of voices, the metallic scent of fear and anticipation filling the cabin. The tension hung like a heavy fog as the plane approached the runway, its wheels skidding across the tarmac. Soldiers swarmed the airfield, weapons at the ready, as the passengers held their breath, waiting for the outcome of this perilous journey. The future remained uncertain, but one thing was clear: no matter the cost, the Ovechkin family had embarked on a path from which there was no turning back. In the harrowing stillness of Vechevo's military airfield, the Tu-154 descended, its silhouette a dark omen against the frost-kissed sky. The cabin trembled with anticipation as the wheels of destiny touched the icy runway. The once tense calm was shattered by the jarring blast of gunfire. Startled cries pierced the frigid air, mingling with the staccato rhythm of shots that echoed through the confined space. Panic, a wild beast unleashed, consumed the passengers, their eyes wide with fear and desperation. In the chaos, Nina clung to her children, her body shaking with terror as she sought solace in their embrace. Ivan's eyes, once defiant, brimmed with tears, his heart pounding like a drum against the icy steel of the seat beneath him. Maria, ever the steadfast guardian, shielded Alexei from the chaos, her voice a whisper of comfort amidst the cacophony. Elena, a ghostly apparition in the dimming light, stared unflinchingly ahead, her resolve etched in the lines of her face. Victor's eyes met hers, and for a moment, his fear was replaced with a steely determination that spoke volumes of their love and defiance. The clatter of boots reverberated through the cabin as armed men stormed aboard, their faces obscured by masks and cold, hard stares. With a swiftness born of training, they apprehended the hijackers, their actions precise and calculated. The Ovechkin family, their dreams of freedom slipping away, were left to face an uncertain future. As the plane shuddered under the grasp of its captors, the audience was reminded that escape from the iron grip of oppression often came at a steep price. The stakes had never been higher, and the fate of the Ovechkin family hung in the balance between hope and despair. In the dimly lit courtroom, the Ovechkin family stands before the judge, their faces etched with a mix of defiance and resignation. The heavy silence that pervades the room is punctuated only by the occasional rustle of papers and the distant ticking of a clock. As the trial unfolds, the narrative takes a poignant turn, revealing the family's resolute decision to die rather than return to the oppressive Soviet Union. The judge, a stern figure cloaked in authority, poses questions that reverberate throughout the courtroom. His words hang heavy in the air, echoing the weight of the choice made by the Ovechkins. The family's responses, soft yet firm, echo their unwavering conviction and love for freedom. The atmosphere within the courtroom shifts as the gravity of their actions becomes more evident. Tears well in the eyes of some spectators, while others remain stunned, struggling to comprehend such a sacrifice. The Ovechkin family's tale of courage and defiance resonates deeply with many, stirring emotions that ripple through the room like waves on a frigid sea. In the face of these revelations, one cannot help but ponder the moral implications of their actions. Are they heroes or terrorists? Their decision to defy the system has come at an unimaginable cost. The lives of innocent people, fear and chaos, and now, a trial that will determine their fate. As the trial reaches its climax, the Ovechkin family is found guilty of hijacking the plane, yet their unwavering resolve to escape the Soviet Union stands as a testament to their love for freedom. The audience is left with a heavy burden, questioning the price one must pay to secure such freedom. In exploring the lengths some will go to defy the system and the heavy toll that such defiance exacts, Escape from Siberia offers a profound examination of the indomitable human spirit and the complex web of choices that define our existence. The narrative serves as a stark reminder that in pursuit of freedom, sometimes, one must be prepared to pay the ultimate price. In the wake of the Ovechkin family's trial, young reporter Andrei Petrov stands alone in the dimly lit confines of his Leningrad apartment, engulfed by an unyielding quietude. The echoes of the courtroom linger in his mind, a haunting reminder of the heavy burden he now carries. The air within the room seems to crackle with electric tension, mirroring the storm brewing inside him. Andrei's thoughts swirl like snowflakes in the wind, each one as delicate and unique as the life story of the Ovechkin family. The once vibrant colors of his dreams now paled in comparison to the raw emotion etched upon their faces during that fateful trial. His heart heavy, Andrei grapples with the question that has consumed him since that day. At what cost does one secure freedom? The words dance on the edge of his tongue, yet they refuse to leave his lips. He is torn between his duty as a journalist to uphold the truth and his compassion for the Ovechkin family, whose hearts beat with a desire for liberty that transcended the boundaries of morality. As he paces through the apartment, Andrei's eyes drift towards the newspaper articles strewn across his desk, each one chronicling the events leading to the hijacking and trial of the Ovechkin family. The ink-stained pages blur together, forming a kaleidoscope of emotion that threatens to consume him. The room begins to spin as he struggles with the weight of his choices. His voice trembles as he whispers aloud, "At what cost does one secure freedom?" The question echoes through the apartment, bouncing off the cold, unforgiving walls. It is a question that resonates within the hearts and minds of every citizen yearning for liberation from oppressive regimes. As the clock ticks forward, Andrei comes to a resolution. He will tell their story, not as heroes or criminals, but as complex beings bound by love, hope, and a fierce desire for freedom. It is a story that transcends the boundaries of black and white, offering a glimpse into the indomitable human spirit that refuses to be silenced, even in the face of tyranny. In the end, Andrei's tale is not just about the Ovechkin family, but about the millions trapped within the iron grasp of oppressive regimes across the globe. Their story serves as a beacon of hope, illuminating the path towards freedom and reminding us that sometimes, in our darkest hours, we must choose to take a stand, no matter the